I got September, December, and next year.
September, then December, and then 2026? Oh, it's gonna be a monstrous 3 fights. Pun intended.
I looked at my friends, I was like, it's about to go down.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? It's your boy, Dr. Boxing Talk, back with another YouTube video. Banger, man. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I don't know what time it is. The doctor's in the house, man. So check this out. We caught up with Naoya Inoue. Well, you know, not me specifically, but he was out there for, you know, media day and this stuff and addressing the media ahead of his fight with Ramon Cardenas for his return fight to America, you know, because this is not his first time in America, but he obviously doesn't come here often, right? He mostly fights at his crib, you know, at his home country of Japan, right? And it makes sense because he makes a lot of money there. But in order to branch out and gain more exposure and increase your profile, then it would behoove any fighter, not just Naoya Inoue, but all the fighters, to expand their horizons and fight in other locations, just because it gives another set of eyes an opportunity to look at you. Because, you know, we watch the fights all the time when we go live, and we watch Naoya Inoue and his Japanese compadres, you know, when they fight their fights. But it happens at what time? It happens at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know what I'm saying, on a Tuesday.
Now we at the club going up on a Tuesday.
And that's just not conducive with a lot of people's work schedule and stuff, especially on this side of the world, you know, particularly in the Americas. So, you know, it's not that he needs to do it monetarily wise, but in order to increase his exposure and his popularity, then I think that it's always good for fighters to go to another country and give other people opportunities to see them, you know, just like Brian Norman is rumored to be going to fight Jin Sasaki in Japan, right? That's going to be good for his profile, you know, once that fight is finalized. It seems like it's about to be happening. It's almost done. You know, we dropped a video on that as well. Go check it out. But Naoya Inoue, after he fights Ramon Cardenas, assuming he wins, right, which is coming up in a couple of weeks, right, he already laid out his plans for his next 3 fights, and they're big. They're not new, you know, because if you paid attention to this channel, we already reported all 3 of these fights already. Yeah. But it's just nice to hear Naoya Inoue himself confirm it, as opposed to hearing, you know, a top-ranked representative or other boxing reporters and stuff like that say what they heard, mostly via speculation or inside sources. Bullshit! 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 You know, it's good to hear it from the horse's mouth. And Naoya Inoue has proclaimed that he will be fighting in in September 2025, yeah, and then December 2025, yeah, and then in 2026. But not only did he tell us the months, and he also even specified the opponents, which is dope.
I got September, December, and next year.
But wait, there's more.
Rojo, Nicole, Nakatani. And Nicole, Nakatani. I have those.
This is what I'm talking about. We already knew, right? So we got MJ Akhmadaliev, who's the WBA mandatory and been that way for a while. He will actually finally be fighting him in September. Then he'll move on to Nick Ball at 126 pounds in February. You know, that's a good fight because, you know, Nick Ball has a country behind him in England. So that'd be a good clash. And then Naoya Inoue would get an opportunity to be a champion in another division, you know, and then he's gonna double back, you know, not just back to Japan, you know, but also double back as far as weight, and maybe go back down to 122 and fight JUNTO NAKATANI, because I'm assuming that if they do fight, they'll fight at 122, which is super bantamweight, as opposed to Naoya Inoue going back down to bantamweight at 118, the division that JUNTO NAKATANI currently sits at. And in the interim time, JUNTO NAKATANI is having a unification with the IBF champion Ryosuke Nishida, his countryman, his Japanese countryman Ryosuke Nishida, and that'd be a unification belt because JUNTO NAKATANI holds a WBC belt, right? So that'd be a great fight. I'm just assuming now, but I would assume that if JUNTO NAKATANI wins and Naoya Inoue wins his next matches, that when they fight, it'll be at 122 again. But you never know, man. It could be maybe Naoya Inoue doesn't want to come back down from 126, assuming he does fight Nick Ball there, and maybe they fight at a catchweight or something, or maybe Junto goes all the way up to 126. You never know. But if you ask me right now, in my opinion, I think that they will meet at 122, since JUNTO NAKATANI would be coming up as well. So I think that's a pretty good compromise, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I have Junto Nakatani winning that fight. But assuming, anyway, I think it's a great fight, but you know, Junto Nakatani is my guy. But assuming that everything does go accordingly, which is not really sure, right? Because injuries do happen in boxing, especially with Naoya Inoue, right? Look at his last opponent, Yi Jun Kim. It was supposed to be Sam Goodman, but he suffered an eye injury, right? And even this opponent, Ramon Cardenas, it was originally supposed to be Alan Picasso Romero, but negotiations didn't pan out. So that's how we're here now. So you just never know if injuries may happen to his opponents or him. Hopefully not. But if everything goes accordingly, it's good to hear Naoya Inoue say that, hey, man, you know, he already confirmed and reaffirmed what we've said before, that his next fight will be MJ Akhmadaliev in September, good Lord willing. Then followed up by, if he wins, you know, followed up by Nick Ball. And then after that, you know, if he wins again, followed up by Junto Nakatani. But let me be clear, though. I'm not sure that these fights are contingent on whether or not he wins. We just think he's going to win. And I think that if he doesn't win, the reason why I say if he wins, I think that he would probably have a rematch, right? Because that's usually what the big bosses do. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the best fighters out there. So I'm looking forward to this fight, man. This is good news. This is dope. I'm looking forward to Naoya Inoue versus Ramon Cardenas. Am I a little disappointed in the fact that it's Ramon Cardenas? A little bit. No disrespect to Ramon Cardenas, but he's relatively unknown. And I would like, if he was fighting in Vegas, you know, since he's fighting in Vegas, I would have loved for it to have been MJ Akhmadaliev. You know, that'd have been my preference. But hey, you know, beggars can't be choosers, and I'm happy just to see more great boxing. And I'm happy to hear this news that we could look forward to it, man. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Do you think that Naoya Inoue comes out unscathed? Do you think he beats Cardenas, Akhmadaliev, Nick Ball, and Junto Nakatani? Or do you think one of them potentially makes him stumble, you know, and becomes the monster slayer by defeating the monster? I think that's Junto Nakatani, but that's just my personal opinion. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I appreciate it. I look forward to hearing from y'all. Don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, remember with God, we could do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.